It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down. Locke working out of the gun. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter.
It's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Locke exits on 4th down as Seattle sends out Jason Myers from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Myers' kick is good, and the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. Well, given the way they started that opening drive, so they need to get 3 out of it. Probably a pretty good start that they'll take.
I think you're exactly right about that, because they just shook off the effects of the kickoff and field position and took the ball, moved it downfield. Didn't pay off with a touchdown, but that drive, that was really nice for them, and they did come away with 3 points.
Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got Smith here. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
Opening carry of the game for Cordero Patterson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Clock running under a minute to go now here in a fast-moving first quarter. On 2nd down, a run with Patterson. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. This defense for the Seahawks much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
That's Cordero Patterson hauling it in. And he's going to have a Falcons 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. They'll run it for the first time with Williams. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there. And he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
Straight ahead, Patterson. Now bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And the Seahawks have recovered. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having 2 hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Will Dissly, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
He lets it fly from Lockett. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Locke gonna go on 4th down. Completes it to Fant on the right side. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. They fumbled the last time they had the football. Fortunate that it only led to a field goal. 3-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
Second and 11. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. And come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral it down near the 11-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
On 2nd down, it's Walker. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Kenneth Walker with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drop. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here we go. Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready at their own 25-yard line. They're going to start the drive, and he loses the football a second time. And the Seahawks have picked it up, and his crew will take over. Time in this first half now, Charles, and he's coughed up the football.
And both times, I think, they were in spots where he's got to think about covering up the ball. He's got to revert to his fundamentals in those practice drills where they carry it through traffic. He's not out in the open field where he can swing it a little bit, cover it up, and take care of it.
incomplete.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
Clock will try again on second down. This is the tight end fan. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Locke to throw. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And it's 3rd down.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw it is Locke. Oh, he tries to give it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Falcons are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A good gain on 1st has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They'll go again with Patterson. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. He lost 2 there. And it's 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half. And I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Ready.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drive.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Uchenna Nwosu. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Walker now on 1st and 10. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 20. Loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Here's Locke. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Pitts. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level of defense hitting it once, you get first half scores just like this one.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Continued struggles here in the second quarter, and to me, you can pin a lot of them on an inability to convert third downs. Add that most recent incompletion to the list of examples.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look. Williams loses the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. Following the fumble recovery, it's Locke. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Arnold Ebiketie in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
While you admire anyone trying to pick up an additional couple of yards, they're just not worth it when you take shots like that. Quarterbacks have to stay in the game and stay on the field.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Block now to throw. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. And the corner blitz gets him that time as he goes down for a short loss. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And that will extend their lead even further. So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity to be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Let's see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And complete to Drake London. And he's got room. Touchdown, Falcons. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces, to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Play action. Now it's Locke. And incomplete on the deep ball.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 16. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be Falcon football. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they looked up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Well, this is intercepted. They get Ridder for the third time. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Goodwin able to haul it in. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards 2:22 on the clock. Locke looks to throw it again. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Noah Fant, his 2nd touchdown on the season. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Now Myers for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of the...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. You just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Locke going to throw. Eluding the pressure right. This is caught. Touchdown! Marquise Goodwin, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Myers connects on the PAT, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
I Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And they get 17 more on that one and another first down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw here. Too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Sidney Jones. And the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 41. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of...
And this is caught. Touchdown, Seahawks. DK Metcalf, 42 yards. And the Seahawks are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And this one was over a while ago as he just added to that big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now this throw caught left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards the pickup there. And you get the sense, as I'm sure they got the sense, they might have picked up a good one here, maybe a little diamond in the rough via trade.
Maybe just need a change in scenery, a new city, maybe different motivation, but they believe they've got a good one.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And I don't know that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline is still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 8. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the 1st down. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is brought in at the 21. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
On 1st and 10, it's Algier.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now back to throw. And now here's another interception.
Jordan Brooks with it. And the Seahawks are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Seahawks, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they too will exit with a 2-1 record. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the Cleveland Browns.